man, this movie was just so exactly what we needed right now.
The first time I saw the movie, I hated it.
This is the best superhero movie since Into the Spider-Verse.
Is James Gunn shouting out MT?
Let's dive into this Jor-El business.
Greetings, Palaxians. Today on the Bounty Board, we're discussing James Gunn's Superman. So kick up that warp drive and let's punch in.
Welcome back to the Guardians of the Palaxy podcast, everybody. I'm so glad that you are here. I'm here today with three of my wonderful, amazing pals, Whitney, Tommy, and Brett. What's going on, gang? Justice Gang, or should I say, Justice Gang.
That's not our name.
It's a work in progress.
Oh, but before we continue, I just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to our Patreon sponsor of the episode, Okello.
I've seen this person save a squirrel. I've seen them save a turtle. I've seen them save multiple dogs. I'm pretty sure Okello is the modern day Superman. And I am so grateful that they are part of the Palaxy.
See, that's good that you had that experience. I have not always had the best experiences with Okello. We took a trip to Laos about 10 years ago. We were doing some underground Muay Thai fighting, and Okello beat the shit out of me. And I have to say, well, I enjoyed it because pain is my kink. I was humiliated by Okello. I'm glad that they are now sponsoring our Patreon as some sort of recompense or
sort of penance.
Yes.
Thank you, Okello, and I forgive you for the two black guys that you gave me in Laos.
Oh man, the old Okello KO. But yes, thank you again, Okello. You are amazing, and thank you to all of our amazing Patreon fans. You guys really are the foundation of the channel. So thank you so much. But today we're going to talk about a different foundation, the future foundation for the Justice League, the Superman. The movie just came out. It's a couple days fresh and we all just saw it. And I just got to ask you guys, what are your general feelings about the movie? Starting with Whitney.
It was so good. I loved it so much. I had the best time. Any movie that's primarily about a little guy. You guys know how much I love little guys. And there's a dog and I love him. And his name is Crypto and he's a good boy, but he's also a bad boy, but he's a perfect boy. And I love him so much. And I personally believe that this was a movie about a dog and his super powered human friend sidekick, but it was mostly a crypto centered film. And that's how I want it, baby. Thank you, James Gunn. The gun didn't jam.
Hey, I mean, the gun always jams, you know what I'm saying? He always gets to the fresh tunes. He's always jamming out with the fresh tunes.
Holy shit. He made Superman punk rock? How?
Hell yeah. It's because he got that juice like that, man. What do you think, Brett?
Yeah, we saw it twice. So that tells you everything because it's been out for a day.
It's been out for like 5 minutes.
We missed the first 20 seconds of the movie.
How dare you?
Which there's a lot in that first 20 seconds of the movie.
Yeah,
so we felt like we missed 20 minutes. So we were like trying to get our bearings. And so my first watch through, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this movie. Second watch through, I can say that this is the best superhero movie since Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, dang. Oh,
yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, forget Endgame.
You're forgetting
This
Endgame?
Is a great movie.
You're not even putting Endgame in like third place, bro?
Yeah, Endgame could be third. That's fine. But
okay, well, that's still placing
this is a top
three.
tier superhero movie.
What about Craven? What's wrong with you?
This is the best movie since Madam Web.
Yeah, baby!
Put that in the commercial. Best movie since Madam Web. Oh, man. But what do you think, Tommy?
Not for me. I thought the movie was horseshit.
Too woke.
Not my Superman. Super woke, am I right?
I like this movie a lot. I saw it Thursday night. Then I saw it Friday night as well. So I have stayed up later than usual twice in a row to see this ding-dang movie. It is so fun. It's such a fun movie. I'm just a big James Gunn creative mind fan. And I feel like this movie takes so many interesting, untraditional, or at least unusual turns in performance, in plot, in the surprises. We'll get into it, but all of the little, it's definitely a sum of its parts. I think, thinking outside of myself, which is something I try to do more. What a great movie for kids that are just like if this is a kid's introduction into the superheroes genre, like what a treat. Like
truly, I didn't even think about that. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's like too intense for an 8-year-old to see. I was thinking about like, would my niece be able to watch this movie? Like there's intense moments, but it's certainly like a family, like you could take your family to this movie and that doesn't mean it's patronizing or juvenile. It's just a really fun movie. And the flow of it, I think, lends itself to younger viewers as well. Like they throw a lot at you, but at no point did I feel like overwhelmed. Like I wasn't like, oh my God, this is too heady. It's a lot of fun. It's just a really fun night at the movies.
And that's what I particularly loved about the movie myself, because like up until like before James Gunn joined the DC side of things, like things just weren't fun. Like we had like, you know, some decent
they
movies
weren't
here and there,
James
like,
fun, and
exactly,
now they are.
We need some James fun in some DC movies, and we finally have it. And like that is like a super crucial part to what makes a good superhero movie. And James has brought that to the DCU. We already seen that he's done that with Creature Commando, so like we already know the DCU's in good hands.
Peacemaker.
And Peacemaker, oh my God, I love Peacemaker so much. And obviously the Suicide Squad. But like, man, this movie was just so exactly what we needed right now. Like in terms of like humanity. Because like, you know, it teaches people that kindness is cool, and kindness is what makes the world go round and the world to just unite together. And, you know, it's really refreshing to see this new fun, personal, and like personable rather, Superman, who is just like, who has a personality, and like, it just feels like a character that you just want to hang out with, rather than, you know, no offense to, you know, Snyder versus Superman, but like, he was kind of just really depressed and a bummer.
I actually say all offense. All offense.
I would say 75% offense.
Yeah, guys, honestly, before we go any further, I really think that we should all just come clean and tell them how much James Gunn is paying each of us to say this.
No, he told me not to tell.
I'll go first.
$3.
Your Gunn dollars, hide them. The people cannot know.
He gave me a partially filled out punch card for the local frozen yogurt place in my neighborhood. That's what I got for saying these nice things about the movie.
This isn't a green screen behind me. It's just my stacks of money all compressed together.
And, you know,
my DC money.
Anyone who's followed my career knows that I've been wealthy for a long time, so I didn't need the money that James Gunn gave me.
Right.
It didn't hurt, you know.
But I wanted it.
God bless you, Superman. Thank you, Superman.
Thank you, Superman.
But yeah, like I particularly loved this new iteration of Lex Luthor, because like, man, is he a perfect reflection of a lot of billionaires today. Just someone who just like can't let other people have the spotlight and is the pettiest dude on the planet. This dude is like Mysterio levels of hating. Like when I was watching the movie, I was like, my God, if him and Mysterio went on a date together, like it would be insane.
I put in my top, like, I think Corn Sweat absolutely destroyed his Superman. I thought he was awesome. I thought Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor was amazing. And then my honorable mention for third is just the Justice Gang in general. I thought all three of them, and well, eventually four, particularly Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific, were really standouts. My gripe with Hawkgirl is they just didn't give her a lot to do, which I understand. I think overall it lends to this point that this movie did not feel the need to give us tons of origin for these characters. It kind of comes out swinging with the opening title cards. Like this is taking place at a point in time where these characters are established. So we're not going to slow that down and then explain to you who they are, which to me is something that happens in pretty much every non-fantasy sci-fi movie. Like if you watch an action movie, they don't go into like huge detail of all the supporting characters of like, why are they like this? It's like some people are just supporting cast, some people are henchmen, and we don't need to know necessarily why they're even there. I mean, hopefully their actions show you, but like...
Damn, it sounds like you're the kind of guy who doesn't care if his name is For or Gary, and that's fucked up, Tommy.
No, I do care deeply. If
all henchmen deserve a name.
Well, I don't consider Gary a henchman. I consider him a helpful automaton.
Ally. Yeah, true. And a feminine nomenon. Whit and Tom at Comic-Con.
Hey.
It's a Tomonomicon. Yeah, I thought Nicholas Holton's Lex Luthor was fantastic. It was like a more disturbing portrayal. Normally, like the portrayals of Lex Luthor are very kind of campy, or like Jesse, what the hell?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg kind of played him as like a twerp. Like it was just kind of like
he played him as Max Landis.
He played him as the Joker, bro. The DCU could not escape the shadow of the Dark Knight. Like it just couldn't. So like they just played him as the Joker. Sorry, continue. Yeah,
I thought like this was like a level of menace. Like Nicholas Holt's a little taller too, so he's like the same height as Superman, and it's like. Yeah, he's not like he's not a slight figure, and he just seems so. He was like weirdly self-aware of his flaws, but did not care, which made him, psychotic. Like he was like, I know I'm petty, I know I'm vain, I know I'm like a megalomaniac, and that's why I'm great, and that made him a disturbing villain. I think
something I really liked about this character was that I felt. Like, I know everybody is like, oh, he's, a caricature of Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, he's the billionaire. And obviously, like, that's how he was, like, played in the movie was like, oh, he's this, like, tech genius who sucks. But I also got such big fucking Stockton Rush vibes from him. Where, like, sure, he didn't do things with a PlayStation controller. But man, he went full Ocean Gate with that rift. He was just like, nah, it's okay. Keep letting the rift come. Keep letting the rift come. And I was like, bro, don't take the submersible down to the Titanic. Don't let the rift come from Metropolis, you fucking idiot. Man will die from their hubris. I'm sorry I'm yelling, but it made me so mad.
Yo, shout out to my boy Stephen Blackheart. He's one of my online friends. In a person that has helped me with the Guardians of the Galaxy Easter egg hunt. He played the guy who yelled at Luthor for not closing the black hole. He's like, "Come on, we can close it." Shout out to Stephen Blackheart.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for him.
Good. Okay, well, good. I am so glad that is a person. That's one of your oomphs. I'm so glad to hear that.
Was he the mustache guy?
Yeah, he's the mustache guy.
Yeah. So that's exactly proves my point. We know nothing about that guy, but he was acting from start to finish as the kind of bewildered cultist who was like, I followed this guy, but we weren't talking about destroying a whole city here. It's like, I didn't need to know his parents were murdered and Lex Luthor gave him an outreach or anything like that. It's like, I don't even know that guy's name in that movie. And I thought
he's mustache guy. He looks vaguely like Anthony Kiedis in the late 80s when he was on a lot of drugs and had a bowl cut and a mustache.
Yes. Holy shit. Yes, he does. Okay.
But he's a handsome man in real life.
Yes, no. Handsome in real life for sure. Loved the way that they designed your character, bro. It was awesome.
I want to give Brett a chance to agree with me.
No, it's never going to happen.
It's good instincts.
No, to your point, Tommy, I think that's on rewatch. That's my favorite thing about this movie is there is so much detail and love in every little corner of this movie, including all of these side characters. And the mustache guy is a character from the comics. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. They don't need to elaborate on that at all because people like us make videos where we're like, actually, this guy was from 4 issues of this run from the 70s.
Actually, this guy was based on Anthony Kiedis from the Blood Sugar Sex Magic era.
But what it ends up doing is it really fleshes out the world and it makes it feel really lived in. And there's dynamics between characters that would in other movies wouldn't have dynamics. Like the little Lex Luthor, the other Lex Luthor video game guys yelling at each other, being like, I just said Bravo was down. It's a great little moment that most other movies would not have. And it just feels like this script was so cooked. And they put time and love into every
But they finished it before they filmed it? That's strange.
Yeah. What?
Changes things, huh? It's also, can we talk about how great it is that Hawk Woman actually screams like a hawk?
Yes,
too?
That was my favorite part.
That was your favorite part of the whole movie?
No, that was my favorite part of Hawk.
She lost her shit.
I'm just teasing.
That was my favorite part of Hawkwoman.
Yeah, I'm just being a jerk. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was like, there's so much good stuff there. The scream was cool.
No, obviously, I already said my favorite part was Crypto. Keep up.
Of course, yeah. You're right.
I'm so glad. Like, I'm so happy for Isabella Merced for playing Hawkgirl, because
fantastic.
After Madam Web, she deserved a win. So like, this is like quite the transition for her.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
I'm so happy for her. In terms of like, cast members that like really make the world feel lived in and evolved, I gotta shout out everybody on the Daily Planet, roster, because like, my God, after watching the movie, I was like, these guys deserve a show. Like, I feel like we missed a season of the Daily Planet before watching the show, because I was like, I feel like I'm supposed to know these guys already, and I really want to know more. So like, give me just a full on show with every single one of these guys, because like, Jimmy Olsen is the MVP.
Who knew that Jimmy Olsen was just slaying puss right and left at the fucking Daily Planet? I know that, like, in the comics, he's written also as a nerdy guy with freckles who gets all the babes. And to that I say, good.
He deserves it. Good.
He deserves it. He has a sick personality. He's rad. He's a certified cutie patootie. Let this be a lesson to all men who are like, women won't date me unless I'm 6'4" and jacked. No, did you see the women that Jimmy was fucking pulling in this movie? He was pulling the same women as Lex Luthor the billionaire, which proves that ladies like cool guys who are nice and smart and considerate and rad like Jimmy, and they don't like assholes. Get that through your heads. Love you.
See, he made an eco-terrorist cuckold of Lex Luthor.
He did. He sure as shit
I
did.
thought that was wonderful. My favorite comic that I own is a Jimmy Olsen crossover with Don Rickles that I got in the comic book show. It is. And even in that one, it's like Don Rickles, like, I think at one point acknowledges, he's like, you do have a way with the ladies. It's like, all right, Don.
Yeah. Dude, Jimmy Olsen slangs puss.
And I like that actor, the Skylar Gazando. He's been great since he was like 6 years old. Like, he's been a strong actor since he was like 6. He was in Righteous Gemstones most recently, I believe. It's Gideon Gemstone, and he is, he's just kind of a great, like dude actor. Like, hey, just kind of like, he doesn't do too much. Kind of just like, he's affable. I agree, MT. The Daily Planet cast is amazing. Get them a show on Max ASAP.
Like, I really enjoyed Lois in particular, because like, one of my biggest gripes about, Man of Steel and beyond is that like, Lois didn't really have much to do. Like, she didn't feel like a fully fleshed out character. And I felt like her romance with Superman was sort of like rushed and forced. Whereas this felt like a real relationship where like, like, she has her own baggage and like, she has her own trust issues. And like, she sort of learns how to like trust people more, but also she admires Clark's own naive, quote unquote, love of everyone and want to be like everyone's friend and trust in humanity. And so like, that sort of changes her and changes her opinion on Clark as she progresses through the movie. Like, because she was straight up just going to break up with him when things got a little bit tough. And like, she was like, oh man, we're not compatible. But then after she sees,
it's fine.
Like,
I'm sure I tried to break up with Brett like 3 months in after our office situationship started. That just happens. That's just drama.
I mean, like, it's scary. Like, relationships
now.
Can be very scary. Like, so like, I loved seeing that and her like sort of running away, as sort of like a symptom of being like a city girl for a while. It's just like, all right, men are men, and city boys will be city boys. So like, I'll just move on to the next one. But then after she meets his parents and like, they sort of like, she sort of gets where his kindness comes from. She's like, oh no, this is really great. And like, nice guys are fantastic. I'll date me a nice strong man.
And it sews up the authenticity of his intentions, right? Because even though she wants to believe in Clark and Superman, that video is pretty damning that like, you were sent by like basically these cosmic gods who you now know fully informed you to take over and enslave Earth. Whereas allegedly, according to the video, whether you believe the footage, but then you go.
We're going to have a talk on this.
I know we are, but then you go and meet Ma and Pa Kent, and you're like, oh, this is why he's the way he is. These are like the most salt of the earth, humble people in the world, and his father literally can't get through a conversation with him without bursting into tears because he loves him so much. It's like Superman loves everybody too much, to a fault almost, to the point of where he causes all this catastrophic damage to save one life, which is good. But it's like that's the God version of his father's love for him, in my opinion.
Really building out his authenticity is like a great point, Tommy, because like she also gets to see that like, oh, he's actually into this punk rock music.
Right.
And like, I think so much of Lois thinks that Clark is inauthentic for a huge portion of this movie. And then seeing that like, oh no, he's a Boy Scout, but he's got some fun edges to him is like a really important thing for Lois, but it's also really important for this audience as well, because we get to see a Superman that has a personality.
Right. But it makes sense because I mean, all she knows is that he's literally pretending to be Clark Kent, right? Like it's like, you would assume Superman is the real man and Clark Kent is the alias. And it's like, in actuality, it's like Clark Kent is the product of the nurturing of his parents, and Superman is the power set that he got from his birth parents. And like, you know, that's wonderful, and he uses it for good, but he wouldn't use it for good. Most likely his instincts would probably align with his Kryptonian heritage if he didn't have Jonathan and Martha Kent.
I do want to talk about the whole Kryptonian hubbubaloo, because that's definitely a thing that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But before we do, since we're on Lois, I also want to talk about the fact that they dedicated like an 8-minute scene in the beginning of this movie to just a conversation between Clark and Lois. And it's my favorite scene in the whole movie. And there's so much back and forth and just like dynamic qualities in the scene itself.
And it's exposition, but like that's how you do exposition, where it felt really like real and true to the characters and the plot. Yeah.
Right. Like that conversation may sort of set things up for where the DCU is headed in a weird way, because like, as we've seen so far with like James Gunn centric DC projects, this is a world that is, you know, very centered on geopolitics and like, you know, how nations have a relationship with each other. And so I feel like down the line, when the Justice League is formed, the question is going to be, how much power should the Justice League really have in terms of, you know, policing the world, and how should we sort of step in and, you know, stop them from doing that? And like, that's a big thing in the Justice League animated series. That was like one of the main focus points of like, hey, like you guys have a giant laser in the sky. We got to talk about that, because like that's not going to fly. And so like, you know, seeing Clark get confronted about his just like, hey, you can't, about him just going to other countries and just like interrupting their flow just because like lives are in danger. It's like, yeah, we get like where you're coming from, and like, you know, I could totally see where you're coming from, but like there are rules to this stuff, and like you could easily start a nuclear war or whatever by just like stepping into another country as an American. So like, you know, I mean, he's an alien, but like, you know, people don't know that. Like he sounds American, looks American.
But also I think like the whole movie is about like doing the right thing.
Right.
We wrap up so much like red tape around doing the right thing, and like that's the best part about this movie is Superman's just like, no, we have to save lives and we have to do the right thing no matter what the cost is. And like really, if we're doing the right thing and we're led by people with power that can do the right thing and are actually altruistic, the world is going to be a better place. And it's so nice to see a beacon of hope again. He puts the hero in superhero, and it's so, that scene's so good because you get to see his frustration because he's coming from that place. And I think a lot of us feel that way.
Did you practice that soundbite? Like he practiced. Superman doesn't have time for selfies. He puts the hero in superhero. How many times you practice that, bro? I'm interviewing you. You have to answer.
I didn't practice it, but it was in my tweet about the movie.
He already made Palaxy shirts with those words on it. So like
hashtag Brett Bits. Hashtag Brett Bits.
Yeah.
But no, like I like how you said that, because like it makes me think that how much in common Superman and Batman really have in terms of their like integrity towards doing the right thing. Because like, you know, Clark's willing to step into other countries and like, you know, throw a president against a cactus, and like in Batman's willing to punch people in the face. Like, but like they both have the same drive to protect people, but like it manifests in different ways. But like in today's age, we definitely need like heroes that will stand up to authority figures because like my God,
bullies.
We don't got that over here. We ain't got that. We need more of that.
Well, I think you got to take it one step further and go full Hawk Girl and drop a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Also, that guy playing a goofy dictator did a phenomenal job as well. That actor,
his hair did so much acting alone, and I was impressed. I loved it.
Evil Einstein.
Evil Doc Brown.
And even the little subplot that like him and Lex have a bond over this donut chain is amazing too. Like that's like the little details, like what you're saying is like they spend a minute of the movie with Lex like giving him a donut and discussing his plans to put one of those shops in his half of
Lutheria or whatever.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, like stuff like that to me is so like that's just like James Gunn's sense of humor sneaking out. Like, billionaire evil people love donuts too, and so do despotic rulers. They also love donuts or sweets, whatever you have. I thought that was such a fun little detail.
Just Trump and Putin getting together over a case of Dunkin'.
Right.
Essentially. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed like that dynamic in the movie and Lex in general. But I do want to talk about Mr. Terrific a little bit more because I loved Mr. Like before this movie, like I've been a Mr. Terrific stan for years. Like I feel like this is like, the people discovering Black Panther all over again. Because I was a huge Black Panther fan before Black Panther came out. And then now people are like, oh my God. But like seeing Mr. Terrific finally get his flowers after all of these years, because he's been a badass genius since day one, essentially. And my God, his scene that he gets in the movie, it's very Yondu-esque in Guardians 2 with the prison, with the ship escape moment with the arrow. Mm-hmm. It's just really fun, and his personality is just perfect. And like Eddie Gathegi was the perfect choice for this character because like he's a very just like no nonsense but also funny guy. Yeah, and like after watching this movie, I'm like, I want a Mr. Terrific project yesterday because like he's just like he just exudes an aura that's just like my God, like he could like be a Batman type figure if they play their cards right. I mean, obviously he's not like Batman, but like he's a genius like Batman. But yeah, like I really love Mr. Terrific, and I want to see more of him specifically because I love a good intelligent Black superhero with my initials. Specifically, because it's all about me.
Speaking of which, Brett and I definitely took an edible the other night, and we convinced ourselves that there was on Mr. Terrific's computer, there's like his little sign in, and it says MT at the top, and Brett and I were both like, is James Gunn shouting out MT? And we immediately texted him. And I was like, I was so convinced, dude. I was like, oh my God, no, there's no way. That's my friend. And I started dying.
I forgot that Maxwell Lord was in this. Yeah. So I saw it says MT/Lord. And I was like, oh, he's giving MT coordinates for the Guardians Easter egg.
And we were both just like, it all makes sense. It goes all the way to the top. And we texted MT and he was like, no, you guys, that just is Mr. Terrific and Maxwell Lord operating system. And we were like, fuck.
I choose to believe the former.
I choose to believe it too. Yeah, I choose to believe.
I want to believe. I would literally cry if I was ever a James Gunn Easter egg. Like that would be amazing.
All right, you will be one day, my friend. You will be. I think Mr. Terrific was phenomenal, and I think the entire Justice Gang, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, like just getting to play like a kind of like prick. But like a prick who does the right thing is such a fun character, and he's such a great actor to play that role. Like he's on the right side of the issue, but he's not. But he's an asshole, and he's
just a douche.
Yeah, this is great.
He just doxes Superman real quick, like for no reason. Yeah. He's like he immediately believes that video, which we got to get back to the video. By the way, we totally forgot. We got to circle back. But he immediately believes the video and is like, bro, I don't want you to rule me. What? And it's so fucking funny. He's so incredible.
But he also takes his own seriously too.
He's like,
I signed up to protect Earth from alien invaders, and if you're an invader, you're fucking scum.
Yeah.
God, that haircut is so bad. It's so bad.
It grew on me over the course of, I mean, obviously it's still bad, but like by the end of the movie, I was like, it works for me. It's fine.
No. I just feel like he had a lot of fun. It's like the right kind of like improv or sketch comedy where like if the people on stage are having fun, but what they're doing isn't like genuine or isn't like done well, it's really annoying. But when the people on stage are having a great time and it's entertaining for the audience, like that's the best thing. And I feel like he had a great time playing Guy Gardner, and it was not lost that he was having a great time, but it was also so enjoyable as a viewer that it was just kind of like magical. Like I thought his, like just the way he was such a prick was just so funny. Okay. All these funny moments and like playing off of Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific were also, I think, really, really great. I know that they're probably going to get some sort of, maybe not their own standalone movie, but like they'll probably appear in more movies. I don't know that they could.
A Mr. Terrific TV show would be so fun.
Mr. Terrific would
be so good.
There's rumors about it, and I think it's great.
I've heard rumors about Jimmy and Mr. Terrific getting their own shows. I would kill for that. I fucking loved both of those characters.
Mr. Terrific. So the best action sequence in the whole movie is the Noah and the Whale, Mr. Terrific fight scene.
Yes.
Where so he just I love when he grabs the little orb and does his little spinny.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It just goes like full like woo.
I love that James Gunn is able to take these sort of lesser known margin characters and make them incredibly interesting and fun for audiences, where people leave the theater going, oh, this is my new favorite character. I want to learn everything about this character. And he did it for Mr. Terrific. And I also think he did it for Metamorpho.
Like, I was just thinking the same thing.
Yes.
I was like,
I also loved Metamorpho.
Flying around is just ahead. So funny.
Yeah, so good. Like I never in a million years thought that we would ever see a live action Metamorpho, even though like I love the Terrifics comics and like I wanted to see it, but I was like, no, he looks too goofy. Like they're never gonna like make someone that looks like that like a main character in a movie, and like they pulled, like James Gunn pulled it off. Like I feel like attached to Metamorpho, and I want to see him succeed on the Justice Gang now that he is the crucial vote that a guy needs for the. I think that James Gunn is the perfect person to run DC, because before with the DCU pre James Gunn, they were a little bit too, Batman heavy in terms of like the characters that they focused on, like
thriller
Harley Quinn.
Heavy. And this leans into it being a comic book.
Right.
And that's the thing is like, this is a comic book universe. Let's lean into it. Let's not shy away from the fact that we have fucking Plastic Man,
Oh, I really want a Plastic Man to freaking debut in this freaking movie. I wanted it so badly.
It'll happen.
It'll happen eventually.
It will happen though. I'm like every crazy thing that you would dream of, it'll happen.
Ben Schwartz would be great for that.
That was in development, wasn't it? Wasn't that?
Wait, really?
Like a long time ago.
It was real?
I think that he was campaigning for it for a while.
Oh, he was campaigning.
But like, you'd be freaking fantastic. But yeah, no, let's dive into this Jor-El business, because we've got a couple of opinions.
Bradley Cooper, what do you mean? Tell me your secrets, Bradley Cooper.
Yes, Bradley Cooper has some deep, dark, Invincible style sequence.
Did you guys know? Because I had heard that he was cast as a robot. Like he was one of the Fortress of Solitude robots. Like it was him and Jennifer Holland were like uncredited robots. And then I think Jennifer Holland still was one of the female voiced robots. But and maybe Bradley Cooper was as well. But like that was a total surprise to me that he was going to.
Yeah, I had no idea that Bradley Cooper was going to be in it. It was like it felt the same way when he just randomly popped up in the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves movie, where I was just like, oh shit, that's just a Bradley Cooper cameo. Just like multiple like award-winning actor Bradley Cooper, like Oscar, like leading man Bradley Cooper, just doing like 10-second cameos in these movies. I love it.
I personally think, like, this is my opinion, that, this interpretation of like having Superman have like sort of like evil world dominating parents is the likely scenario given what Krypton was going through. It's like, our planet's dying, our people are dying. And like, we want to lay a seed for the next generation for Krypton to grow. So it's very Man of Steel-esque. It's like, hey, find a planet, terraform it, and make it yours. So like I do understand that, like, that's the realistic things that way the realistic way things would go. But it is, different from the actual source material. So what did you guys think about this change?
So the first time I saw the movie, I hated it. I thought, I was like, I don't like this. Then, I thought it was too different. It was too drastic of a change to literally 180 it. Then I started to think like the different possibilities. Like, I don't think that that's the payoff of that. I don't think that's the end of that footage or the end of Jor-El. And I'm going to call her Michelle. His mother. And I don't think that's the end. I think that there'll be more to that, but I still sit here with like a movie that I loved pretty much most of it. Like, that was my least favorite thing about it. I don't know that it's I don't know that it's like the Lockhart reality. However, after like, going to see it again and thinking about it, I'm like, it does really amplify the influence of Jonathan and Martha to Clark Kent's life. And I think that in the version that we're getting from James Gunn, it is more powerful to have it be this way. So like, yeah, creatively, I didn't love the choice just because, I guess for myself, selfishly, I didn't love the choice. But overall, for servicing the film and the character moving forward, I think it's an interesting thing to do. And like, I don't expect movies to be made just exactly how I like them. And I like to be challenged even in a Superman film, and like, challenge why I don't like it. Does it make me uncomfortable? Or like, I know it sounds silly to say that, but it's like, well, I have this ideal of Superman's origin that he was like, like a Christ figure sent from a foreign planet to like keep the Earth safe. And it's like, well, no, maybe he was sent to rule, and he chose good because of his human upbringing and his humanity as well.
Our actions make us heroes. It's our actions that make us good or bad.
And that's an exclamation point on that, I think. Yeah. That this plot twist is an exclamation point on that statement. So that was my thoughts on it.
I think the video is fake news. I think it's a fucking deep fake. And let me tell you why. For starters, we just found out in the news that they edited the Jeffrey Epstein suicide prison tapes on Adobe Premiere. I'm pretty sure that Lex Luthor at least has access to Final Cut Pro. Okay, I think that he warped it.
He has Adobe Cloud Creative as well. Oh my goodness!
Yeah. Oh my god!
And a VPN, so when he saves it 4 times, the metadata won't traced over. I don't know if that's how it works.
VPNs work.
I know it's not. I don't care. Anyways, I think that they totally could have faked it, especially because like the engineer finds it and she's like, whoa, guys, get a load of this nonsense. Look at this. And like, yes, that makes me think, okay, well, maybe it was real because she reacted so strongly to like what she saw. But also I'm like, okay, that girl can change anything that she touches into anything she thinks. What if she can do that with digital stuff? What if she touches it and that's what she wants it to say? So now the tape says that. And then also I think that, yeah, like it could have been edited. Like it could have been edited. I think that it like greatly benefits Lex to edit that video that way. C, I think that the tone that his parents were speaking in at the beginning of the video that he heard is just tonally completely different in the second half. Obviously, like that's the point, but it doesn't sound to me like that's how those instructions would naturally flow, because they're just like, we want you to do good and be a sweet boy, and we love you so much, and we want you to, and we're so sorry that we're not going to watch you grow up, but we know
be a
that you're going to
sweet
be
boy, for God's sake.
Anyways, get a secret harem. Like that just doesn't fit. Like it doesn't. I don't know. Like I just don't think that like it's not like seamless to me. It's kind of like, like on Kurt Cobain's Suicide Note, where like at the bottom the handwriting is kind of different, and it makes you go, maybe Courtney did it. That's how this video makes me feel.
Right.
I think it was the biggest problem with this movie, not just from a changing lore perspective, but also like they had to hang a huge lampshade on this footage where they're like, everyone immediately believes it. No one questions it. And like, they're just like, yeah, Mr. Terrific says that like all his guys authenticate it, so it must be real. And then we're not going to question it at all.
And Coachella made a fucking Tupac hologram back in like 2015. why couldn't Lex make a Jor-El Bradley Cooper hologram? You can make a Bradley Cooper hologram just as easy as you can make a Tupac one. So I don't know.
The fact that it was believed so easily, like it was necessary for the plot to move forward, so I forgive it. But it was just one of those things where it's like, no, this would be a discussion for a long time. And
people would talk about it.
There needs to be something else that gets Superman against the public for me.
I think it was kind of, obviously an analogy towards the virality of like fake news or virality of like, believing what, like something taking off and like, just a public kind of mass hysteria of like, okay, Lex Luthor is on this news program, releases the footage. He releases it without no one. He's already so empowered by the government that he can just get this footage on the news immediately with no like, the news doesn't vet it. And I think it's just it's kind of an analogy to our own media market, whether, specifically cable news on either side, really, to be fair, where it's like, they just throw shit out and say like, here's what we think about it. And like, whoever, if you're watching the news station that you like, you just kind of take it and go like, okay, that's probably true. Or, oh, that's definitely true. And I'm going to yell at my neighbor about it. So that's kind of what I took about. But I get what you're saying, Brett. Like, it was very quick. They were like, no, he's actually he's an evil.
It happens within the span of that fight with that kaiju.
Sure.
And it's just like, they authenticated that quickly. Come on.
But like, I feel like that it's very realistic in a way, like, because like it feels like a commentary on how the news very much loves to market fear as, regardless of like, what the reality is. It's like, hey, this footage sells for what Lex told us it was going to be. So like, let's get the people to, fear Superman and, turn against him. And I feel like in that world as it was, like, it makes sense because I feel like the people of Earth, like, or the people of Metropolis rather, like were just fearful, like fearful people. Like they were just like, they didn't have the hope that Superman would give them by the end of the film, to have hope in Superman's goodness, because like I don't know, it started with them fearing him and then like for them having hope in him. And I feel like that transition was appropriate for this type of movie because like it's all about hope and it's all about, people having faith in kindness. So like I thought that it worked, but like it was comically quick and like comically like, all right, like no one's questioning, everyone's just on the same page. Like, come on, like where are the pro Superman defenders? Like there's just none around. But like it might be, I feel like the biggest plot hole, this is sort of like off topic, but like the biggest plot hole for me for this movie that like I don't know if I can completely 100% justify is the fact that, obviously huge spoilers for a huge part of this movie, but there's a reveal that Lex Luthor has cloned Clark Kent and made Ultraman that looks exactly like Clark. And so like, I don't understand how Lex is like, who are your parents? And he has this freaking face scanning technology that can find people like immediately. So it's just like, why didn't you use that on the clone that you made? Or at least
he's talking about Ma and Pa Kent, I think.
Yeah. But like, if you can scan people's faces, you could find Clark Kent. And then you could find
I see what you
mean.
Like it's just high school yearbook.
It's like
that. If you have like this amazing technology and a clone of Superman,
glasses, man.
Like that's the only thing that like, because like, they do touch on the Superman face warping glasses, so maybe it like interfaces with technology. I don't know, but like that was the most unbelievable part of the movie for me personally.
I don't know. I kind of loved Ultraman because it feels like they're setting up this long arc Bizarro. Where we're obviously he gets thrown into this black hole with all this antimatter and like he's gonna survive. He's Superman. He's already a little dim. Like we're getting a Bizarro, and I'm very excited that like this is gonna be like a slow burn villain. That said, I also I want to talk about this when we were talking about Lex, but I'll talk about it now. I love that Lex was fantasizing so hard about beating Superman up that his his go-to move, 1A, 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 1A. That's 1 and that's A. That's the first move he invented. He has been dreaming about punching Superman in the face repeatedly, over and over and over.
Yeah, part of me thinks that he also programmed in one where he gets to kiss him a little bit. You can't hate someone that
1A, 2B, 1A, 2B.
Very likely, very likely.
3C.
You know how like boys are mean to you? Boys are mean to you if they like you? Like, yeah.
Yes.
Another great Lex Luthor moment, when we were talking about his hubris. Sorry, I'm just like all my Lex Luthor thoughts.
Go for it.
When he sees Superman coming and he's like, I can make it through that portal.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't.
No, you can't, you fucko. You absolutely
he's like,
can't.
I can do it.
No.
I'm better than you.
You're not, bro. You're not.
I do want to talk real quick about, obviously the end of the movie introduces another member of the super family, Miss Kara, into the scene. And I'm so excited for to see more of this new character. Cause like, I was on the fence I was just telling Tommy earlier, that like, I was on the fence about the Supergirl casting. Cause like, I didn't see the new Game of Thrones series yet. So like, I wasn't familiar with the character of the actress rather. But like, man, like that, like as soon as she popped in, I was like, those are hardcore cousin vibes right there.
Yeah.
Like I understand why Crypto is the way that he is. Like, and it's so interesting that we're getting like a kind of like a party girl, Supergirl from the start, because like that character development is going to be kind of wacky and crazy, and I'm all in for it. But I do want to, I am curious to see how this new Jor-El, Superman's parents change is going to affect her movie, because like she obviously grew up on Krypton, so she knows the deal and she knows how the mentality of Kryptonians and like their and possibly Jor-El's desire to sort of expand the Kryptonian empire through with their baby. So like I wonder if there's this like weight of responsibility that is on Kara to sort of groom Kal-El to be this king of men. So like, yeah, I'm interested to see how this change is going to affect the Superwoman story, because it feels like it's going to be fairly centric, I'm assuming. But who knows? We don't really know much about what's going on. But what do you guys think of the Kara appearance?
I loved it. I was so excited that we're basically getting Kesha Supergirl. I absolutely love that. Waking up in the morning like fuck P. Diddy, she's great. She's a party girl. I support that. I appreciate that. Who among us doesn't want to go on a red sun bender? Besides Tommy, who we're very proud of, who's sober.
I still want to. I just
don't want to. You just can't. I really like that. And I'm very excited because they are basing it on the comic run Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, where she planet hops, getting crunk, getting drunk, getting fucked up. A real Rick Sanchez kind of lady, just running around trying to forget her troubles, trying to forget that her home planet is fucked up and blown up. And yeah, I do think that that's a really good point. If it doesn't turn out to be like a fake video that we later find out wasn't real, if it does end up being real, which, 50-50, my theory doesn't have to be right. I do think it would be really interesting if that is like part of the reason why she's going on this bender, because maybe she is like, I don't want to fucking have to repopulate the whole thing. Like, I don't want to be responsible for this. I want my dog and I to go on little adventures, and I want my cousin to babysit my dog when I need to get fucked up. Like, I think that could also be like her motivation in this one. If her motivation isn't purely just everyone on my planet is dead, must get whiskey. I think that could be like a secondary part of it. If she feels that pressure to like get Superman to conform, to get herself to conform. If she's sitting there like, I don't want to have to get a secret harem, that would make sense. Like, I wouldn't want that either.
Well, I would.
I believe you. Tommy does have
I volunteer
harem.
as tribute. Just kidding.
That's what I was thinking the whole movie. I was like, damn, Tommy has one of those.
I do. And I am trying to populate the earth in my likeness. It's not going great.
It's not going great.
Is Nick Cannon from Krypton? Let's discuss.
The chosen son of Krypton.
The chosen son of Krypton. Nick Cannon.
Oh my God.
Nick Cannon with a K instead of a C.
Since we're talking about Kryptonians,
right?
I think it's really interesting and important that the choice to go with Superman's parents are evil, if they are evil. We've seen for the past 10 years sort of like these deconstructions of superhero films with Homelander, and then Invincible obviously also has a lot of Superman influences. And in those, it's what if Superman was evil? What if the most powerful people in the world hated everyone? And
you mean like in real life?
Like in real life, yes, exactly. But I think what makes Superman a great hero and why he's an important hero is, what if we lift up people that can make the world a better place and choose to make the world a better place? And I think people have gotten really cynical about superheroes in general. And I think the fact that this movie goes, yeah, there's a lot of cynicism about superheroes and heroes in general, but what if we make heroes again? And we make them aspirational, and we make them kind-hearted souls that want the best for humanity. What if we lift those people up?
Role models.
It's a beautiful choice to do that.
I agree.
I think so too. And that's one of my favorite parts of the movie, is that they really, I do love that, James Gunn framed Lois Lane as a young punk rocker, and, Clark Kent is growing up also with punk influences. It fits in really nicely because Batman's a huge Kurt Cobain fan in this universe. So we're good. Like we're rocking this playlist. Great. James Gunn never misses. But something that I strongly believe with like my whole little heart is that love and kindness is the greatest act of protest. It is the greatest act of resistance in the face of evil. The most radical and punk rock and fucking metal thing you could ever do is be kind and love people in a world where the easier normcore thing to do is to just be a dick. It's so much easier to be a dick. It's a lot harder to get into the mosh pit of love and fuck shit up with love. That's what I believe. And I thought that was a really cool message to have in a superhero movie, especially when we see like all of the things in our world that are going on right now. And there's a lot of things that I feel are so far out of my control, and it gives me a lot of anxiety a lot of the time, the world. But the one thing that all of us can control is forming a community and loving each other and being there for each other and supporting our neighbors and supporting strangers, and not just doing things because you're going to benefit from it, doing things just to do them because it's the right thing to do, helping a little old lady cross the street, like shit like that. Like, just do it. There might not be a benefit for you, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't help that little old lady cross the street. Save that squirrel. Save that turtle. Save that kaiju. That kaiju started off as a little old Stitch pug, and he was really cute. And I wish that he had gotten saved and reduced to normal size. And then Superman could have opened up a Mudang exhibit, and he would have been the Mudang of Metropolis. And I would have loved that.
I wish he had been saved by Jesus Christ. I think that was the only salvation for that. Other than that, I agree with everything you said.
Where was the Lord when the kaiju needed him most?
To Whitney's point, I 100% agree. I think that this movie very much exemplifies something that James Gunn was talking about when I met him like years ago, like at a convention. He was talking to the audience. He was like, "Hey, like if you're gonna make art that helps humanity, that sort of encourages humanity to be better, and it like just makes the world a better place." Like ever since I heard that, I've had this mantra in my head that like finish what you start and do it with heart, because that's basically what James Gunn's advice to people was. And like I feel like more comic book creators now that like there is this sense of comic book fatigue like going around with a lot of people. I think that comic book creators really need to, take this example and be like, hey, like rather than making a generic, comic book movie that checks the boxes of like, all right, action, quips, whatever, like how is my movie going to encourage people to be better? Like, how does it relate to the struggles that, people are going through today? And like, how can we inspire people to, be heroes in their own right, to be kind and to make sure that there are less Lex Luthors in the world? And I feel like, this movie is, a bit of an Aesop's fable in a way. Like, I like movies that like sort of double as like, lessons that people can learn like in a very parable type way. And this is one of those movies. And I feel like the DCU is with this type of foundation, I feel like we're in good hands to, teach people how to be less dickish, because my God, there's a lot of dicks in the world.
So many dicks.
Less dicks out for Harambe,
It's raining dicks. G-Man, it's raining dicks.
Yeah, I mean, that's what superheroes should be. And that's why I love this movie, is because it's a return to what the spirit of a lot of these comics were back in the 40s when they were created.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, primarily Superman was written by Jewish writers, and he was, written to be a hero in a time of literal Nazis and right around and during World War II. And he was supposed to be that symbol of protection of your neighbor, of, helping out the little guy, of, he was a dude who used to, beat the shit out of landlords and shitty husbands and shit like that. And he's always been a symbol of, I'm standing with the weakest people, the smallest people in society, because I have the power to protect them. And I mean, nobody else is gonna. So I think that returning to that message is so important, and it's so fucking cool to see them doing that. James Gunn is kind of a genius. I like him. I think he's great. Thanks again for that yogurt card, buddy.
Going out guns blazing.
Going out guns blazing.
Guns blazing, baby. All right. Let's land this bird. We loved the movie. We love the message. We love the man. We love the women. We love the creatures. We love hope. We love truth, justice, and a better tomorrow.
Hell fucking yeah. We even love Nathan Fillion's shitty little haircut. And we especially love Crypto. Crypto is the best part of this movie. Crypto is the best boy. I didn't talk nearly enough about Crypto, but that's because it's the same thing that I say about all dogs every time, which is that they're perfect and they're sweet and I love them and I would die for them. I agree.
I concur.
Also, shout out to the VFX team. Amazing jobs. Yeah, but yes.
Take care of your pals. Check in on your pals. Love your pals. Give hope to your pals. Rescue that squirrel. Rescue your pals. Be there for them. And we'll see you later, superheads.
Bye.
Don't create any black holes. Bye.
Oh, yeah, no, seriously. It's bad.
Yes.
It's
above
bad.
all, don't do
and
that.
If you do, stop it before it gets to the city. What a fucking idiot. Anyways, bye.